Welcome, everybody, to episode number 93 of the Battered Heat Fans podcast. I am your host, Daniel Goodon, alongside me, as Mr. Daniel Solana. How are you doing, sir?
We're back. We're back. Not the Heat, but you and me are back talking about the Heat and not the news that I want to be talking about, man. I mean, what is this shit that you're talking about? Trae Young?
Yeah, before I get into that, let me just Giannis, okay? I've gotten so many comments about the way I say his name, Giannis Antetokounmpo, because I say the Giannis. I had some people comment like, "Oh my God, I heard the way you said it, and I clicked off the episode." Relax, okay? All right, Giannis Antetokounmpo, got it. Um, so the story is reported by Jake Fischer that apparently, if the Heat strike out on Giannis, that the Heat are gonna go big fish hunting and try to get themselves another big fish. And the big fish that's being reported right now as a possibility is Trae freaking Young. Solana, what the F?
First of all, I read the article, man. Thanks for sending it to me. I read the article. I want to address one thing that Mr. Fisher says in his article. He literally, and I'm going to quote what he says. Young is considered to be a quote big fish get for the Miami Heat. Dude, Mr. Jake Fisher, Trae Young is a guppy amongst a sea of big fish. He is not the big fish that the Miami Heat need, or he
Oh,
is not the big fish that the Miami Heat need to go get. I would much rather get Ja Morant or Kawhi Leonard than Trae Young. So please, Pat Riley, please do not pull the trigger on that. This has to be fake.
it can't be real because, and by the way, it was a Bleacher Report. If anybody hasn't seen it, it's on Bleacher Report. Jake Fisher came and reported it. I understand that Trae Young is technically better than Tyler Hero. He carried his team to the Eastern Conference Finals one year. I get it. But it's the same style of player, no defense, very small. He's a better shooter and I guess distributor, but like I see him as a better version of Tyler Hero. I don't see this moving the needle. I don't see this as a big fish move. This isn't somebody that's going to take us from not making the playoffs to all of a sudden a title contender. Like this is really, really like I heard this and I got really disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, look, unless there's a plan B and C to really load this roster, like unless you're gonna go get Trae Young and Kawhi Leonard and somebody else, okay, then I can understand it makes a little bit of sense. But if your big get this summer is Trae Young, dude, GTFO. Like, hell no, bro.
I
Like, what
know
are you
that you
doing?
were I know you went to the World Cup game yesterday, so you were a little out of the loop on social media. I was also because I was in Magic Kingdom most of the day, but I did get some notifications and some text messages because some people are saying that well, Brian Windhorst apparently is the one. Was it Brian? I believe it was him that said that Giannis has come out and said that he wants Miami, and he's made it very very known, and and people feel like it's gonna happen. Now, like I told you, I am in Disney World this week, and I packed a Heat jersey for every day because I'm ready to celebrate the day that Giannis becomes a Miami Heat because I feel like it's gonna happen this week because it has to happen. Like, we cannot get Giannis. We can't strike out again, and even worse, we can't strike out and end up with the Trae Young. So I'm still optimistic. I'm still hopeful. I mean, I still think he ends up here, but worst case scenario, he does. Trae Young cannot be the plan B. I rather a John Morant, and that's me. That isn't a John Morant fan. I don't like that he can't shoot, but I'd rather a John Morant than Trae Young.
I'm gonna get heat for this, but I'd rather run it back than trade for Trae Young, especially with the package that I just saw that we'd be giving up. The other trade, Danny, that I saw, and I don't know how realistic this would be, but I saw a 3-team trade with the Bucks, the Heat, and the Celtics, where the Heat end up with Jaylen Brown, The Bucks end up with Giannis Antetokounmpo, and the Heat still end up giving up Hero and Triple J and Kasparis and Ware and a bunch of picks. Don't do that one either.
They wouldn't do that.
I
They're
don't
not
want
gonna.
that.
They're not gonna give Giannis over to Boston after they wanted him. That 0% chance that happens.
Yeah, no chance. Just
I
throwing it
did
out there
see
though.
one.
Since we're talking about all these crazy stories, might as well throw that one out there.
I did see another scenario where Boston and Milwaukee have been trying to look for a third team, and because the Brooklyn Nets have so many assets, that they would help out and they would take Jaylen Brown and they'd send a bunch of draft picks to Milwaukee, and Milwaukee would send Giannis to Boston. That one seems a little more possible, but I I I think that because Giannis has made it apparent that he wants to be in Miami. I know Dame did the same thing a couple years ago, but if Giannis, with an expiring contract, makes it clear that that's where he wants to be, I think that's where he'll be, and I think he'll be there by the end of the week.
I hope so, man. I really hope so. I will tell you this: I did read the report from Wendy that said that that he has said that he would sign an extension with the Heat. But I also read one from Wendy saying that he would say he would sign an extension with Boston. So those are the two teams that right now are 1A, 1B in the Giannis sweepstakes. And look, if I was a betting man, I would say the Heat would take the cake over Boston in the Giannis sweepstakes. But at this point, I don't know, man. I think I'm 50-50, and I don't want to be 50-50.
No, no, I agree. I was a lot more confident until I found out Boston was back in the mix. Um, but look, Wendy said Giannis wants to come to Miami, and I'm hoping that's true because if that's true, then that puts me slightly over 50% for the Heat. And again, the reason we decided to record today, I'm here driving around Orlando. The Trae Young thing threw me over the top. I said, no effing way that we end up with Trae Young as the backup plan to failing on Giannis. That he just can't be. Because he's not going to move the needle. He can't be. He's not considered a big fish. But you know what? That can't happen either. Because now that I think about it, Washington has Young, they have Anthony Davis, and they have the first overall pick in the draft. There's
Yeah,
no
well,
way that they don't. They're going to try to
they,
make that work.
no, they can get 13.
Nah, man, they're going to try to make that work.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Now you got me thinking. Now you got me questioning. I was all in on Giannis to Miami. Now the Boston story came out. Now you're talking to me about Trae Young. Tomorrow you're gonna text me and we're gonna be like, "Yo, some weird guy to the Heat. Let's go on again."
Nah, I can't get any worse than Trae Young being a big fish. All right, Solana, any final words? Again, just wanted to touch on that Trae Young news and the fact that Wendy said Giannis is saying that he wants Miami.
No, man. The only thing I gotta say is for everybody watching, um, dude, if you're craving Heat content, obviously we have a lot coming up now in the summer. If you're craving Heat content, we got the draft in 7 days. Then you got Summer League. Kasper Siakuchonis is gonna play in that. And dude, we're gonna be here covering it all. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and continue on this weird journey that we've been on with Battered Heat Fans since we started it. And man, 93 episodes in, and we're talking about Trae Young. What the hell are we
Well,
doing?
it's funny you say that because you were just saying we're going to cover the draft, we're going to cover Summer League. There's a good chance that we don't have a 13th overall pick. There's a chance that we don't have Kasper Jonas or Khalil Ware on our team in the summertime, or Kasper in the summertime. So no covering Summer League. Like, we'll see.
I'm still gonna watch Summer League even if those guys aren't on there. We're gonna have somebody. We're gonna have some random guy because they always do. They always have some random guy come into their Summer League team and pop off. I remember a couple summers ago it was Josh Christopher. Nobody knows who he is anymore. But I
Mm-mm.
remember all these different, players that have come through the Heat system and have had a standout summer league. So regardless of who the Heat draft or don't draft, or if they get Giannis or whoever they get, it'll be a very entertaining summer league. And yeah, man, we could do a couple shows on it.
Yeah, look, I'm up for it, man. I man, I just can't stop thinking about. I have Giannis is gonna end up a Heat player by the end of this week. It's gonna happen, and if it happens on June 20th, that'd be a great day. Didn't the Heat win 2 championships on June 20th?
Probably.
I know the first one was on June 20th for sure because I remember I came back from Colombia that day, and I showed up, and as I'm going home from the airport, everybody's in the street celebrating. June 20th. So that one I never forget. June 20th, 2006. I think there was another one that ended on June 20th also. So June 20th is a big day, Miami Heat history possibly. So let's make it happen, Captain. All right,
Sure do.
appreciate everybody hanging out. If you're listening on audio, please leave us 5 stars and a comment. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. And if you're in Disney World, uh, I'll see you around. I'll be wearing all my Heat jerseys. I got my BAM today. So until the next one, have a good one.